Good afternoon, everyone. How are you all doing?
Great.
Awesome. Let's start with an activity. On the left-hand side, they say bright hearts, and you will say bright way, and you say right way. Whomever says loud, that will be
We have to
the
say
winner.
right way.
Bright way, and they say right way.
Who selects?
Never you are.
The one on my left side. Start.
Right way.
Right way.
All are winners. Cool. So, good afternoon, everyone. I'm Gautam Surisetti, and I will be Sergeant at Arms for today's meeting. I welcome you all to the meeting number 38 of Bright Hearts Toastmaster Club. Let me begin by telling you all Toastmasters and its mission. Toastmaster International is a non-profit educational organization that builds confidence and teaches public speaking skills through worldwide of networks that meets online and in person. It's a supportive community or corporate environment. Members prepare and deliver their speeches, respond to impromptu questions, and give and receive constructive feedback. It's through a regular practice that members empower to meet personal and professional communication goals, and it is founded in year 1924. The organization is headquartered in Angelwood, Colorado, with approximately 270,000 members, with more than 14,200 clubs in 148 countries. Let me say some rules that we need to follow in our Bright Hearts meeting. Please turn off your mobile phones, put them in silent mode. I will give you 20 seconds to do that. Are we good to go?
Yes.
As Toastmasters, we advise you to talk about sex, religion, and politics in a careful manner, and these are sensitive topics. Please do not cross-talk while a speaker is speaking on the stage. Please move in the hall and enter or exit the hall only when there is an applause. Speakers who are coming to or leaving from the stage are requested to follow a handshake or a fist bump. For members attending online, please keep your video on, further stay on mute until unless invited by speaker part of specific role by Toastmaster of the day. With this, I would like to call upon the presiding officer for the day, Arundhati Basu. She is district champion in the international speech contest, table topic contest, and the district first runner-up in evaluation contest for the year 2021 and 2022 of District 92. A 7-time Triple Crown awardee, she won the Spearhead Award in District 92 in 21 and 22. Yeah, with this, I would like to.
Thank you. Thank you very much. That was so overwhelming that I felt like the ceiling of Hustle Up will come down. We've got some audience outside who came to see what just happened. Thank you very much, Toastmaster Gautam. I loved how he said, "That's enough, now let's go." Very good evening, fellow Toastmasters and dear guests. Right, okay. That reminds me, everybody is awake. Like our Sergeant at Arms rightly said, Toastmasters International, for the benefit of our guests, is a non-profit educational organization that strives to help people develop their communication and leadership skills. This is done through a worldwide network of clubs which are present in 150 countries globally and touches the life of 270,000 members approximately. Bright Hearts Toastmasters is one such club, a community club by its nature in the district of Karnataka and Kerala. And here, over the last 12 months, we have tried to create a safe space where each member can try, can experiment, can fail, can learn, and can try again. As on today, it's been exactly 12 months since we started Bright Hearts Toastmasters. And over the last 12 months, we've seen the journey of a lot of our members, their growth stories, and we've also achieved the highest educational award vested upon us by Toastmasters International, which is the status of a President's Distinguished Club. I love how that is slowly turning into a warm-up exercise for a lot of us. I am for once in love with Bangalore weather absolutely at the moment. And I'm so glad that in spite of that, we have so many of y'all who've made it for this meeting today. I do see we have a number of guests in our meeting today, just like you've chosen to spend your Sunday evening with us. We'd love to know you a little bit. So now I'd request our guests to come up on stage, tell us your name, and tell us how you got to know about Bright Hearts Toastmasters. Shall we start with you? You can. Yes.
Hello, everybody. My name is Sricharan. I am a student at IIIT Bangalore. I'm going into my second year. I got to know about Toastmasters from your Instagram page, and I also heard pretty good reviews from my parents' friends.
Thank you very much. Sri Charan, is that right? Yeah, okay, lovely. And what stream are you pursuing in IIIT? Computer science, right. I know how engineers are, so I'm going to assume you're becoming an engineer, right? Yes, I can already see that in you. But I'm glad that you've heard good reviews about us, and we're going to hope that we can live up to that through the meeting today. Could we have you as well?
So hi everyone, my name is Dipankar Bhattacharya and currently I'm working in a startup called Simple Tech Labs as a UI UX designer. So I got to know this from my friend and about like how you can come here, you can understand how it works. So yeah.
Your name, Dipankar. Thank you, Dipankar, for joining us. You said you work for Simple Tech Labs. Is it because everything is simple there? Right, but I can tell you your friend's advice is absolutely correct. Here, it is very simple. You come here and you give it your best shot and you become better speakers. That's what we do. Very simple. We could have you as well. I know you. Yes. Hello. Varun, you can tell us your name and how you got to know about it.
Oh, my name is Varun, guys. I work in MediaTek company in Belando. I actually visit the other club which happens on Saturday. So I was guest there for 2 sessions. I just wanted to visit this club as well. So just, getting the knowledge of everything.
Thank you, Varun, for joining us. I can only tell you that your this Sunday will be better than the 2 Saturdays. That's what we can offer for you. I know we have a few other guests who've come in the past week, so welcome. And also a hearty welcome to some of our newest members of the Bright Hearts family, Pranav, Somil, Vibha, as well as Akash. Yes, we're looking forward to your formal induction to our club, but welcome to the Bright Hearts family. To all our guests in attendance, we hope you enjoy today's meeting. Feel free to soak in as much as you can and also choose to participate when the chance presents to itself. Now, today's theme, very interesting, chosen by our Toastmaster of the day. It says return tickets to real life. As a traveler, one habit that I have always followed is I would go to any place, I collect a souvenir from that place when I come back. I think most of us do that. And as I put it on my shelf at home, the warmth of my home, a zillion emails in my mailbox, and the fact that the snooze button is no longer optional reminds me that I'm now back to real life. But as much as coming back from vacations can sometimes make you feel like, why did I have to come back again? It also, to me, reminds me of where I truly belong. What is my purpose of life? And that is what real life can do for you. But it also gives you a hope that vacations can again happen if you work hard in your real life. It's a little bit like Toastmasters. So last week, the entire Bright Hearts family went for an outdoor meeting. It was tremendous fun, great memories. Bad luck to those who missed it. But a core memory for a lot of us. We had a lot of fun. And today, we are back to real life in this structured setting. But this is where we will work towards our purpose of becoming good speakers. And I'm sure after 6 months of putting in that effort, we'll again get ourselves a much deserved break. So I'm very excited today to see what our Toastmaster of the day has in store in today's meeting themed Return Tickets to Real Life. Our Toastmaster of the day today is one of our young and dynamic members. He is that one individual who chooses to take up any opportunity that presents itself to him, and he's been a tremendous addition to the Bright Hearts family. Today, he'll be doing his debut Toastmaster of the Day role. So, ladies and gentlemen, please give it up for our Toastmaster of the Day, Toastmaster Priyansh Tripathi. Priyansh, I don't mean to interrupt you. But ladies and gentlemen, before Priyansh brings us to real life, I think I've got to bring all of us back to real life. And I hereby open meeting number 38 of
Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
How are you guys doing?
Great.
How was the outing? Who came? You didn't came, Vishnu. I said Vishnu only. I'll try to remind you. Yes. So there's something special about going on a vacation. For a while, there are no alarms in our phone, no deadlines to meet. We have some random adventures, some good conversations, and it's just a time where we relax. We had a sip of tea or a coffee, some random laughter with our friends, and in between all of these things, we tend to find ourselves, which we have missed in this hustle of life. The version of us that is not rushing or replying to any email, but while returning from any holiday, we come back, but we come back with a new version of ourselves. We come back not just to work or routine, but with memories, a brighter hearts, and more clarity in our thoughts. Our recent club outing felt like the same. We had lots of fun, we had lots of bonding, and lots of laughter there. And now, as we return, we are not just returning, we are stepping into a brand new term with new faces and more new goals and more chance to grow. With that, I'll tell you about the Toastmasters. Toastmaster is a space where we practice public speaking and become confident communicator, both in personal and professional life. In our meeting, we have 3 segments. First is the prepared speech segment, where members prepare their speeches in advance, come and deliver their speeches. Second is the impromptu speaking. It's like something, what we say, a random drive, which we go on a night, where we just don't know what to do, but just come and enjoy. Here, it's the same way. We just come on stage. A topic is given by the table topic master. We have to speak on that topic for 2 to 3 minutes. Then is the evaluation segment, where we get feedback of what we have done better and what could be done better next time to make us, to take us to the next level. With that, I'll now introduce the general evaluator for today. Today, we have someone truly special serving as a general evaluator. He's one of the quiet member in the room, if you see him. But when he steps up on the stage, he's a powerhouse speaker. His words carry insight and his observations are always sharp. Please help me welcome Mani Kumar.
Thank you, Toastmaster Priyansh, for that beautiful introduction. Good evening, everyone. So myself, Mani Kumar, I will be serving as the general evaluator for today's meeting. I understand some of the guests, what is that word about? But before I come back to that, today's theme, the return ticket to the real life, which is very close for me. It's almost onboarding a train with only one-way ticket and going to the land where no dreamland, no la la land, the real space where you have to be real yourself. That's where it brings out the best in yourself and also ensures that you are always on the right track. So with that, let me introduce the role for today of myself. It is general evaluation role. So brief to the guests, it is the role where I will be analyzing all the meeting, how it went, what areas are good, where we can improvise better. If I have to correct myself, it is, do you think this whole job of analysis, a full meeting, is it possible to do alone?
No.
Right. So that's where I have come up with my own tag team. It's TAGG, tag. We have to say double G. Yeah. Sorry? Tag. Okay.
Tag G.
Tag G. Yes. So I have asked my tag team about a question. What comes to their mind when they think about today's theme? So for our first role taker said that exercise is what comes to his mind when he think about return ticket to real life. Put your hands together in welcoming our first tag role taker, timer Toastmaster Ilango.
I feel exercise is the return ticket to the real life. Good evening, fellow Toastmasters, my dear guest. I am Ilango. As a timer, I will time the table topic speakers and formal speeches and the evaluations. I also allot each speaker the time they left using green card, yellow card, and red card, which denote the time, remaining for the. Yeah. So today we have 3 sections. One is for table, not table topic. It's a convo table convo table section, which will not exceed more than 3 minutes. At the time of 2 minutes, I will raise green card. 2.30 seconds, I will raise yellow card. And 3 minutes, I will raise red card. And formal speeches, which will be 5 to 7 minutes. 5 minutes, I will raise green card. 6 minutes, I will raise yellow card. And 7 minutes, I will raise red card. Evaluation. Evaluation other sections will be 2 to 3 minutes. 2 minutes, I will raise green card. And 2 minutes, 30 seconds, I will raise yellow card. And 3 minutes, I will raise red card. I will submit my report end of the time. End of time, I have surprise for you. I have 3 questions. I will say the word or the sentence which the speaker said during the green card when I have raised. Your job, you have to find out the speaker of the name. Okay? I will submit my report when called upon by general evaluator. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Toastmaster Ilango, for briefing about the timer role. And one instruction over here, there will be bonus time to every role taker of 30 seconds. I hope everyone will best utilize the bonus time, which I like every time. Yes, moving on to the next role taker, which is called R counter rest. So I have asked this R counter, if you have to go back in place of time with the return ticket, which time you want to go. Then he mentioned he want to go to his college life. Any guesses why? Yeah, probably, but it's not in the list. Yes, because he loves to go to college life. There is no stress, no responsibilities, and no EMIs. Put your hands together in welcoming our R counter of the day, Toastmaster Aditya.
The point about X is true, but. All right. Good evening, Bright Hearts. So today, as the R counter, I'll be spotting some verbal delays. Now, we all take journeys in our life, be it by train, bus, or by flight, and we experience a lot of turbulence, delays, and this leads to disruption in our plans. So when we are communicating verbally, because of some errors and filler words, it also leads delays in communicating our message. So as the R counter, I'll be spotting these filler words for you and tracking this and coming up with my report when the general evaluator calls to do so. Some of these filler words are like, but, so, etc., etc. So the goal is to help all of us be on track and take on our journey smoothly. So yeah, back to you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Aditya, for briefing about our counter role. So moving on to our first G in tag team. Yes. So it's called as grammarian. So today, when I asked the grammarian, what comes to your mind when you think about return ticket to real life? The grammarian replied, she gets the thoughts about going back to home and do laundry, think about responsibilities, and prepare for the up next week. Put your hands together in welcoming our grammarian of the day, Toastmaster Nivedita.
Good evening, fellow Toastmasters and dear guests. Obviously, I was wondering why nobody's talking about the laundry that you bring back from your vacation, right? So, growing up, my mom was a walking, talking Ren and Martin textbook, and she used to keep my grammar usage in check. As I entered the realm of corporate world, my grammar also has taken an extended vacation. So today, being the grammarian of the day, it is my role to spot any good usage of the language. I will also be noting down any improper usages, but also outstanding use of words, phrases, thoughts, etc. And also, I am responsible for introducing the word of the day. So, the word of the day for today is routine, in keeping up with the theme of our meeting. So coming to the meaning of routine, it can be used both as a noun and also as an adjective. So coming to the meaning as a noun, routine means a sequence of action which is repeated regularly. And as an adjective, it means performed as part of regular procedure, then as because for a special reason. An example of usage of routine would be daily morning walk as part of my daily routine. And I would encourage everyone coming on the stage to please make use of the word of the day, which is yes. So I will be back on the stage when the general evaluator calls me to bring you all back from that extended vacation and to give my report. Thank you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Nivedita, for mentioning about the grammarian role. So one note to all the members, whenever any person who uses the word of the day, which is, yes, acknowledge them with a thumbs up. Can you all show your beautiful thumbs? Great, thank you. Yes. So moving forward, so who is there up next in the tag team? The last G,
Yes, ma'am.
which is the guest master. It's a special role. Even I'm not sure what happens in that. But when I ask the particular role taker about the introduction or relatability to the theme, segregating weekdays and weekends, then she comes up and says that return ticket to real life happens in the week, ends or start, weekdays or weekends. Any guesses? Exactly. So weekends are the best days of her life to return to her real life. So put your hands together in welcoming our guest master, Toastmaster Dipsha.
Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
Today, I am your return ticket to reality in today's Toastmaster session. Yes, I am playing the role of guest master. What does that mean? Already, our timer has given you a reality check. After green card, you will get some statements told. It's just the rule is going to be similar, but I'll give you only 3 words. You have to guess who's going to be the speaker, right? With that, I would want all of you to keep your eyes and ears open. I know it's a Sunday afternoon. Lazy one, good meal, rice and roti and chapati, whatnot you have had for your lunch. But still, keep up your attention because those 3 words are also going to help you increase your vocabulary. Right? With that, over to you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Dipsha, for briefing about the guest master role. So with that, myself as the general evaluator and my tagger team is ready. Are you all buckle up? Yes. To get into one more energized meeting? Yes. Yes. With that, let us invite our Toastmaster of the day back, Toastmaster Priyansh.
With that, let's begin our prepared speech section. I'll call up the first evaluator for today. She's someone who hikes through mountains and mentors with words. A trekker by mind and a speaker by heart. Please help me welcome Usha, who will introduce first speaker and their project.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Usha Kumari M, and I am the evaluator for speaker number 1. My target speaker is approaching his level 1, project 4 in dynamic leadership. The title of his speech is a combination of something, and the main purpose of this speech is to work on the feedback that he has received from his previous speech. So I'll be evaluating him on seeing how good he's going to implement the feedback that he has received. With that, I'll hand over to Toastmaster of the Day, Priyansh.
Our first speaker for today is someone who needs no introduction, but truly deserves one. He is not only the founder of a club, but also the former president who laid the foundation of what Bright Hearts is today. He continues to lead with both vision and value. Please help me welcome Akshay Oman. A combination of something. Akshay Oman. Combination of something.
Good afternoon, bright hearts and guests. I would like to start by asking all of you a very important question. Am I attractive?
Yes.
Hold on. Let me ask again. This time I want a clear yes or no. Let's be honest. Am I attractive?
Yes.
Well, for those of you who said yes, thanks. And even if in your head you thought no, I respect your honesty. Because if you had asked this question when I was a teenager, I would have said the same thing. At 16, I didn't find myself attractive. Big forehead, thin, long, crooked nose. I looked like Hrithik Roshan in Koi Mil Gaya before Jadoo came and made him sexy. So as I grew up, I always wondered, what on earth could anyone possibly find attractive about me? And then I met Payal. I was in the 11th grade. Payal was 2 years my junior. She'd always find reasons to talk to me, chat with me online. In fact, whenever I would pass by her and her friends in school, they would giggle. It was something like this. Though less creepy. But I always wondered, is she laughing at me, with me? Until one weekend, when I was on my computer chatting with my friends on Yahoo Messenger, I see a ping. It's from Payal. She says, hi. I say, hi, how are you? She says, I love you. So now, there are two things I learned from this moment. One, Payal is what we would refer to in Toastmasters as a direct communicator. A straight to the point, no nonsense kind of girl. Two, Payal found me attractive. Since that day, everything changed. See, nothing ever happened with me and Payal. But every time I would pass by her in school, I could see the affection in her eyes. If it were a cartoon, there would be red hearts where her eyes should be. She looked at me the way Juliet looks at Romeo, the way Cleopatra looks at Mark Antony, the way a Gujarati looks at Dokla. In a time where I found nothing attractive about myself, Payal found something. And this made me think, what is it about people that makes them attractive? Sure, beauty is attractive, intelligence is attractive, but attraction doesn't stem from just one thing. No. Attraction is a combination of some things. For instance, when it comes to me, I have a specific preference when it comes to attractive length of a woman's hair. Hear me out. It should be this long, not short hair. I wouldn't prefer my girlfriend to look like one of the boys. Not long hair. I wouldn't prefer my girlfriend to look like me. But attraction is a much deeper pool. Now we're going into the inexplicables, into the strange, funny somethings. Like when you're talking to the person you're attracted to, and slowly you stop hearing the words because you're just so attracted to the passion with which they speak. And as they go on, all you can think is, wow, those are nice lips. While that person goes blah, 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 blah. And it's not just that. I love the sincere effort women put into getting ready and going out. You know, right before we step out, she'll come to you and say, these earrings or these earrings? You'll say this. And then she'll say, but this is good, no? I truly believe that women reach out to men not for fashion advice. They just want to rule out the ugly options. But that's not all. You know what else I find weirdly attractive? Secretive cleaning. Let me explain. I love cleaning. In fact, I love cleaning so much that I only want to do it. But I do not like it when I see someone cleaning my house. But one time, during a house party that I can't remember, with a woman I can't remember, all I remember was she used the plate, washed the plate, dried the plate, and kept it back without me knowing. When I found out about this, I was genuinely ready to have her babies. So yeah, attraction is messy. It's unpredictable. It's strange. Each and every person in this room right now possesses a combination of some things which makes them attractive to the outside world. I wish I knew what my list of some things was. Sometimes I wish I could go back in time and ask Payal what it was she liked about me. Because attraction isn't just one thing. It's a messy, unpredictable, magical mix of traits, sensations, quirks, and moments. So I leave you all with this one question to think about. What are the combination of some things that makes you attractive? Priyansh.
Well, Akshay, we'll definitely try to find out the answer to a question, combination, which make us attractive. But I want to know one thing. Who's that Jadu who made you attractive? Before we move on to our next session, we'll play a small game. You guys have to just raise your hand. I'll ask few things. Raise your hand if you have ever extended your holiday just one more day. Well, Arundhati, when was the last time you did this?
Last weekend.
What was the reason you gave it to the manager? Ah. Okay, next one is raise your hand if you book your return ticket and then directly landed to a meeting. As in, if you book your return ticket, you landed at airport and directly went to a meeting. Were you exam hall? हाँ meet. Yes. Deepak, were you caught were you caught for this? Were you caught for this? I'm saying that only.
Somebody take out it. Well, I'm not understanding your questions.
I'm saying that will I'm saying that if you went in a meeting room directly from an airport, were you caught for this?
Yes, it was called. Yes, there's nothing to have in this.
It was?
It was out of office.
No, I'm asking that he directly went to a meeting room. Well, I'll go to the last one. Raise your hand if you have ever taken sick leave after a holiday because you don't want to work and just relax. Well, I also tend to do that. And I'm thinking of doing it tomorrow only. With this, let's move on to our next evaluator. Our next evaluator is the person hailing from God's own country, Kerala. He is known for his charm, humor, and his energy. He proudly carries the title of being the most eligible bachelor of Bright Hearts. You guys might be knowing whom I am talking about. Please help me welcome Vishnu Pradeep.
Thank you, Toastmaster of the Day, Toastmaster Priyansh, for that warm welcome and also giving that title to me. Fellow Toastmasters, dear guest, good evening to all of you. A special good evening to my target speaker. Today, my target speaker is attempting his level 2 project 3. The purpose of the project is to clearly define how Toastmasters envisions mentoring. And the purpose of the speech today, which the member is delivering, is for the member to share some aspect of his previous experience as a mentee. Timer, please note that the timing of the speech is 5 to 7 minutes. I wish my target speaker all the very best. Back to you. Thank you.
Our next speaker is someone who embodies dedication in everything he does, whether it's a club role or a deadline or just showing up consistency. Abhishek is one of the hard-working members. Please help me welcome Abhishek. Abhishek, no complaint, please. No complaint, please. Abhishek.
Thank you. I got it. Oh, hi, Arundhati.
Hi.
How are you? I am not good. You know, today morning, I woke up so late. I didn't go to the gym. What a bad start of the day. I tried so hard to impress that girl, but she dated that Delhi boy. I am not good. At that office, that Tripathi got promotion. I worked so hard, but you know, office politics always wins. Good afternoon, fellow Toastmasters and dear guest. Welcome to the world of Abhishek. That was me 8 years ago. The guy who used to complain a lot. Complaining was my daily routine. My day used to start with complaining and it will end with the complaining. This habit of complaining has made me negative. It has changed my view. Like I always used to find negative things in everything. And due to that, I used to remain very sad.
But one Friday evening, I went to this bar to just chill, relax, right? There was great music, there was good vibes, people, and beer in the air. But due to this habit of complaining, I started comparing my life with other people and quickly become sad. And I was sitting somewhere like a sad person. But then a strange, tall guy came and tell me, "Hey, Tiger, you are looking sad. Why?" And then he came and sat next to me. Why a champ like you is sad at this very cool place? I remember my mother told me, "Beta, don't talk to the strangers." But I was getting very positive vibe from him. And I thought maybe I can lower my guards. And then for the next 10 minutes, I literally blasted that guy with all my thoughts and stories, what is happening in my life right now. And that guy listened to me very patiently, like the way students listen to the scolding of the teacher after failing that subject. Now, he told something which was very powerful, and I remember till now. Tiger, the problem is not around you, it's you. You are trying to look at the things which you can't control and not giving importance to things which you can control. Like, come on. You can't make that girl fall in love with you, but you can become lovable so that other people can love you. Now come, let's have a drink and talk. I went with that guy, had a beer, but this one meeting turned into a series of meetings. And that's how I found my mentor, Deepak Bohra, an Indian diplomat, as my mentor. That random conversation led me to more follow-up session with him. And through his practical advice based on his experience, I was able to overcome this habit of complaining and become a happy version of myself. Now tell me one thing, guys. There are two versions of me. Version A, that guy, that 8-year-old guy who used to complain a lot, like chir chir kurkur. And that version B, this version who is currently standing at the stage, who just disturb you by clicking your pictures during the meeting. Tell me, which version you like the more? Mr. B, right? See, that is the impact of mentorship, right? How a random conversation helped me to improve a lot in my life. Mentorship, personally saying, mentorship has a very big impact in my life. I was lucky to find mentors, both who helped me to become better, both personally and professionally. Let me give you another example. At Bright Hearts, when I started my journey, I was that underconfident speaker whose hand used to shiver, who hesitate to say hello and end up doing hello, hello. But now, I am that confident speaker who love this stage. I like to say hello. But behind that, there were mentors who put a lot of effort. They hand-holded me in writing my first speech. They coached me to become better, both on stage and off stage. They were always available to help with all my queries. And they always motivated me and cheered for me, right? If you wanted to see the impact of mentorship, just look at yourself. Remember the very first day you were at Bright Hearts, right? And see the changes in you now. Exceptions are the guests and the new members, right? Before I end my speech, I want to leave you or ponder you on these things. A, if you don't have mentors in your life, go find the people who are really interested to help you to become better. B, if you have mentors, go and thank them for the impact they have created in your life. And I want to take this moment to thank my mentors. I would like to thank Akshay, Arundhati, Mani, Neville, Vishnu for being my mentor and made my journey at Bright Heart easy and helped me to become the brighter version of myself. Thank you, and hand it to you.
Well, Abhishek, every one of us here could relate to your speech because everyone here is mentor or as a mentor. With that, now I'll play one small game where everyone can participate. I will ask you guys a question, give you 10 seconds to think on it, and then randomly pick you guys. You have to come on stage and answer to that question. Well, the question is, where did you go on your last trip? And what one thing you learned or discovered during that trip? I'll give you 10 seconds to think of that. Yes. Can I have Sneha on stage?
So my last trip was Crescendo, and I really enjoyed my time there with all the Bright Hearts and other people. And what I learned was, I think specifically from Dhananjay's speech. So he said that wherever you want to get at, like you won't know how it would feel unless you experience that. So I was like, okay, being here with everyone and people on stage, I mean, that's something I aspire to do. So I got a feeling of that firsthand, and I really see myself getting there. And that is something very vital I learned, which I wouldn't have if I had not gone, I think. Thank you.
Well, this was something we all, who all went to Mangalore has learned many things from Dhananjay's speech. Now, can I have any guest? Sir, can you please come? What is your name?
Dipankar.
Sir, Dipankar, you will answer the question now.
So last time I went to Darjeeling, there I saw lots of people are there. They are so understanding that how we can connect it with each other, how people can connect it with each other in the terms of culture and the terms of people, like how they talk, what they talk. It's not matter actually. The matter is like people can value your thoughts when you understand their value.
Thank you, Dipankar. Now let's move on to our third evaluator. She is the Gen Z of a club and the most cheerful person in the club. Please help me welcome Arna Gupta.
Good evening. A special good evening to Neville Shah, my target speaker. He is in his pathway, motivational strategies. He's attempting level 3, project 2, inspire your audience. The objective of this project is to inspire the audience. Please note the timing for the speech is 5 to 7 minutes. And with that, I hand the stage back to the Toastmaster of the day.
Our next speaker, who's someone who's a foodie by stomach and love to do meditation. And he's that one person in the club who you can always find smiling. Please help me welcome Neville Shah. Neville Shah, one stage, one life. One stage, one life, Neville Shah.
In the still snowy mountains of Hokkaido, there was a small rural station. It was so remote, so away from the city life that not even a whisper could be heard. The Japan Railways wanted to close that station, but then they saw one girl would take a train every morning to her school at 6:08 a.m. and come back from the same train at 4:39 p.m. They did something very rare, which humans usually wouldn't do. They went into a loss for the next 3 years and ran that train just for that one girl so that she could complete her education without any burdens. That touching story made me think about what is the difference. It has many meanings, but the one meaning that touched me was every life matters. Be it one person, one girl, every life has a meaning. Good evening, fellow Toastmasters and guests. Good evening. We talk about wars, we talk about the potholes in Bangalore. But what do we think about? How can we make a change in one person's life? Several years ago, I read this news in January 2020. The province of China has been hit by a deadly virus. It's virus which has originated from the bat, and it's named COVID. And I was sitting in my college enjoying with my friends. Like, this virus, it's in China. How will it reach India? Just 3 months later, the lockdown had hit us. I was trapped in my college, far away from my family. And all I could hear was sirens wailing. In the news, I could hear doctors are battling at hospitals to save lives. Oxygen cylinders are more in demand than gold. And countless lives are being lost every passing day. And there we were. Our hands tied. Nothing we could do. There was no vaccine for months. And people were losing lives day after day. As my anxiety was rising, I sensed that every other person in my family would also be feeling the same. I thought, how can I make a difference in this situation when I'm not a doctor, when I'm not a forefront, nor can I do anything when I'm sitting inside? That's when I decided maybe I can call my parents every day, reach out to them. So I would pick up my call every morning and I would go, "Hi, Mom, how are you? How's the situation over there?" And she would reply, "Beta, we are all fine. You don't have to worry about us. How are you handling your food?" And then we would converse for hours just like that, talking about all the random experiments of food I would do, just so that we each other could feel safe and connected, even in the times when there was no way of being connected. That disaster, when it ended, when the lockdown was over, I rushed to my home. And the first thing I said was, "Mom, I'm back home." And the smile she had on her face and the hug we exchanged made all the difference. She told me one thing in that moment. "Beta, the everyday calls which you made, the conversations we had, that got me connected to you. I didn't feel alone, even during these scariest times. I felt that you were here just with us, though you were thousands of kilometers apart." In that moment, I realized one voice, one call, one connection can also make so much difference. We all wait for other people to take decisions for us. We all wait for the governments to change, for system to change, and we keep complaining that why is this not happening? I drive down the roads of Koramangala and I'm like, why are these potholes not filled right till now? But what am I doing to change the system? What am I doing to make a difference? It could be any simple gesture, be it saying a hello to a rickshaw driver, offering water to a Swiggy guy who is delivering food to you, or even just cooking a meal for your loved ones. That is all that required to make a change in one person's life. When I looked at these two incidents, the girl in the rural town of Hokkaido and the COVID times which we all experienced, I felt like I'm no superhuman. I don't have superpowers, or maybe I can't change the system. But I can do my part by just being there at times, just giving a call at times to someone who I care, or making a difference in one life. So, my dear friends and Toastmasters, this life is your stage. You all have got one life, and you can make a difference in countless lives. It's just one life, one stage. But you can make a change. You can be the change for one life, just like Hokkaido or what I could do during COVID. Thank you.
Today, Neville, I guess, has inspired most of us to be the person who can change at least one life. Now, can we have the voting? For please open your phone and type in as bit.ly/BHTM vote 1. Please give a thumbs up when you are done. The link is bit.ly/BHTM vote 1.
The links were.
Guys, the link is on the screen. If you are not able to access, you can see and type from here. Guys, please give a thumbs up who have done with voting. Those who have done the voting, please, they can have their break and please return back by 5:20. How Chai? Well, thanks to Chai Point. Yes. So I would request all of you to take that leap of faith, ask your manager for leaves, book the tickets, and finally go on a vacation you have been putting off. And while you are on a trip, you might discover something new about yourself, something you didn't notice in the middle of your busy life. You'll come back with fresh thoughts, clearer perspective, and then return to real life. Feel lighter, happier, and much more of yourself. And with that, let's go on an unplanned trip. Table topic section. Now it's time to hand over the stage to a person who is a hardcore traveler with a ritual of doing one solo trip a year. Please help me welcome Wasim Faisal.
Good evening, Toastmasters and my dear guests. So today there is a small twist. It's not the usual table topics. It's going to be a convo master session. So I will lay down the ground rules for you, but there is still something more special. So this convo master is going to be about the Write Hello initiative that we did. So for the benefit of guests and some of the new members, the Write Hello was an initiative that we did to improve the interpersonal skills in different areas of life. So we shared a series of tips over the last one. And this session will be like more to practice those tips. Got the context? Okay. Now to say some of the ground rules. So I will invite a couple of speakers to the stage and then give them a specific scenario. And for this segment, the way we have planned is like similar to the tips. Each conversation will focus on only one aspect of the overall conversation. So say if I say how to start a conversation, both the speakers will be mostly working on how to start a conversation. So throughout the 4 conversations, we will touch upon each phase of a conversation. That clear? Now for the timer, for this particular session, the timing would be green card at 2 minutes, yellow card at 2.5 minutes, and red card at 3 minutes. With that, probably some of you would have seen the handouts. So these are basically the tips that we shared with the members. So this was particularly given for the guests. So you can have a quick look. So later in the session, if you want to participate, you can come and participate using those tips. All set?
Yes.
Shall we have some good conversations?
Yes.
Cool. So for the first conversation, I would like to call Bhumika and Twinshu.
Thank you.
So in the first conversation, we are just
primarily going to focus on how to start a conversation. Okay. So you guys can primarily focus on that aspect of it rather than continuing a conversation or closing a conversation. So speaker one, like say Bhumika is the speaker one, will start the conversation. Pinchu, you need not necessarily continue the conversation. You can reply with a one line and then immediately start a new conversation with Bhumika. And this will go to and fro. So primarily on how you can start a new conversation with a stranger or a new person.
So is he a new person or do I know?
I will tell you the scenario. From there you can start the. So the specific scenario for you is, say both of you work for cross-functional team and you have not much or interacted a lot. But during one of these workshops, you have met each other and you wanted to start a conversation. Clear? It's a cross-functional team workshop. We have not interacted much before. Now you are meeting in the workshop. Now you guys have to start conversation with each other.
Okay.
Okay.
Should we start?
Yes, you can start.
Hi, Twinshu, right?
Yeah.
Oh, I really like that suggestion on the client Botson project. That was wonderful. How did you do that?
Thank you. Hi, Bhumika. First of all, it was very natural to me. I did a lot of conversations like that and presentations. So it was first time kind of when I saw a lot of audience, but it was good overall.
Great. I'm also working on a project similar to that line. So maybe if you can help me understand how to deliver that, it'll be of great help.
Sure. Next time, just ping me. We'll connect over call.
For sure. And how is it going in your team, Twinshu? I heard there are some internal changes happening in the marketing team, right?
Yeah.
So how are you coming up with that?
So internally, marketing team changes are like we are going for hiring new candidates as some new roles are being to be filled up, and that's how it is going. And let's see how.
Great. And in the campaign management, like I have a friend who's also looking for a change. So I'll just share her resume. You take a
Sure. I will do.
Yeah, you just check that and let me know if she is a good fit. Yeah. Okay. All right. So yeah.
Yep. So how is your work going on as a marketing lead there in your company?
It is going good, Twinshu. It's just that there are a lot of projects that have piled up for me. So trying to complete one by one. So it is going good. But the new requirements have actually come up from the other client as well. So we are about to, the entire team is about to connect and do a quick discussion for that.
So in this your role, what are the challenges you facing these days, and how it is going for you?
So I would say there are no challenges as such, but the only thing is that I'm overburdened.
Okay.
So that's the only challenge.
Okay.
A lot of things are going simultaneously, and there are some ad hoc responsibilities as well around deliverables. So that is going good, but luckily I'm able to manage.
Right. So this, how do you manage? I mean, you have family, friends, and your work-life balance.
Oh, don't ask me, like it is too. Yeah, I mean it's a challenge. Honestly, it's a challenge. But again, I try to squeeze time for family, for the people I care about. So I try to manage. But honestly, it's challenging. So that is what the burnout is for me right now. Cool. So I have a meeting to attend to ensure, but it was really nice catching up.
Sure. Even I have. We'll connect later on.
Nice meeting you. Bye.
Thank you so much, Bhumika and Twinshu. I think that was a really good conversation. You did cover a little other parts as well, but I found that some of the tips that we've shared, you try to incorporate. Like say, I think Bhumika, you started with an observation, which is a good way so people feel involved. And Twinshu, I think you asked for insight when you started your part of the conversation. So that was really nice. Let's move to the second set of speakers. Next, I would like to call Pooja and Madhav. Okay. Pooja and Madhav, for you, the context will be how to continue a conversation. Okay. So I will give you a scenario. From there, you can start, and then you will not necessarily reach the, try to close a conversation or something like that. You just have to continue that particular conversation. Okay. Clear? Okay. So for you, the scenario would be, so you both are part of a particular team, and then after a particular stand-up, you have a informal chat. Like someone, like say, Madhav mentions he's back from a family trip. So like now you have to start the conversation, and you just have to keep the conversation going. Clear?
Yes.
And you will start.
Hi, Madhav.
Hi, Pooja.
How are you?
I'm doing good. Thank you. How are you?
I am good, thank you. I heard you went on a trip.
Yes.
How was it?
It was super fun. Like, I went on a trip to Munnar with my brother. So it was a 4-day trip.
Nice.
And it was a much needed break. Like, as you know, we have been working on a project for a long time. And
Okay.
it's just got ended. So yeah,
Okay.
much needed break.
So your brother stays with you, is it?
No. He just visited me in Bangalore. So we went together there.
You said you were from Calcutta, right?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
So your brother stays in Calcutta.
No.
You just mentioned that he came over to Bangalore.
Yes.
So from Calcutta?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So what does your brother do?
He's currently will pursue BCom. He just went to college.
Oh, nice. That reminds me of my college days.
Yeah.
Recently, I met my college friends. We also went on a trip. It was fabulous.
Where did you go?
Refreshing. I went to Goa. So we met almost some 5 years later. We had met,
Oh.
and nothing had changed since then. So, and what all is there in Munnar to see?
Munnar, like, so there are dams where you can go for boating. So there are tea museums where you can see like how all the manufacturing goes.
Oh,
And it's
they have manufacturing units there.
yes,
Okay. Of
sorry,
manufacturing units of?
tea plantations. So
Oh.
Munnar basically is for tea, known for tea plantation.
Right. Okay.
So yeah, you
Nice.
can see like how the teas, how they are processing and everything.
Okay. So, did you get some tea?
Yes.
Nice.
Yeah.
How is you? How is it?
So I tried white tea for the first time. Like it's really expensive.
No.
But yeah,
I hope you
it was good.
you share a cup of tea with us as well.
Yes. Yes. Yeah.
All right.
Yes.
So what? So this you went in last. When did you go?
Last month,
Last month. When are your next trip planned?
maybe next month.
Nice. So I believe you go for almost 6 trips a year.
Yeah, like I love traveling, so
Oh, you like it.
I try to have one trip every month.
Nice. One trip every month?
Yeah,
Office? Personal?
both.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
All right, nice. Okay. So nice talking to you, and we'll see you
Okay.
again.
Yeah.
Bye.
Thank you.
That was really nice, actually. You guys didn't pause in between, which was the objective of this whole thing, to continue a conversation. And I somehow, like, I think Pooja used almost all the tips that were shared. Right? So it's like there was, this why, how follow-ups. There was a related story. Like I went on a trip to Goa, and then obviously you guys touched upon the family, which falls under the Ford framework. Very nicely done. So let's go to conversation number 3. Now the hall is open. Whoever is interested can opt in. Any volunteers? Yes, come.
Thank you. Thank you.
The third conversation is about how to give or receive feedback.
Okay.
So this will primarily focus on receiving and giving feedback. The scenario for you guys is post a particular presentation in office. You have to share the feedbacks to a teammate. So I am assuming you will be like the lead for someone.
Okay.
And then there are just been a presentation that happened. Now you have to share the feedbacks to one of the members.
Got it.
Okay. So how like constructively you can give would be the overall objective.
Perfect.
Okay. Cool.
I didn't get your name.
Sri Charan.
Pranav. Hey Shri,
Hi.
great job.
Thank
You did a brilliant presentation on the technology, the tech I2P that you created, the tech product requirement document.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, it was too detailed. And what I felt is that the engineers in the call really understood what they need to really build
Thank you
for
very
that feature. However, I had one small nitpick in case that would really help you grow further or maybe improve.
It would.
Is that maybe the length or the overall duration in which for which you spoke looked like a monologue? Had it been like a dialogue kind of a session where even audience were equally open or given opportunity to ask their doubts, it would have been certainly great.
Okay. All right, I appreciate that. That is very useful, and I will definitely take that into account. I wasn't really intending on a back and forth dialogue. So, I mean, I understand if that's something you would have maybe looked forward to or thought if I could have read the audience a little better. That's something I'll have a look at. Thank you very much.
Wonderful. Yeah, I think why I said that as in I felt that because one of the testing team member ended up discussing with me whether Shri meant to build this feature like this way or did he mean something else. Though it was little clear to me because I was already closer to the project.
Of course.
But yeah, I think he was hearing for the first time and hence he could not make much of it.
Of course. We could have had a Q&A session, I think.
Yep.
If that was if there were clarifications required on certain features, I think we can definitely incorporate that in another session.
Certainly a brilliant idea.
Yeah.
Why not we fix a schedule maybe sometime next week in case you are free or if the calendars allows for everyone.
For sure, I'll have a look at it.
Wonderful. Yeah. And looking forward to many more such detailed discussions from you. It was certainly a brilliant presentation. Looking forward that you will improve on certain nitpicks and help the team build the features the way you are explaining them to build.
Of course. Thank you for your input.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. I think the way you shared the feedback was really to the point. You started with a primary incident that made you share this feedback. And what I really liked was you later came back with why, like why you are saying it with a care, like say, because the testing team came and then, it was insisted. And I also liked how you really took the feedback. I think you were very positive the way you took, which is very, very important, I believe, overall, rather than being defensive. So that was a great conversation. Thanks a lot. Okay. Let's go to one final conversation. Who wants to volunteer? Yes. Come, Akash. One more person. Yeah. This is primarily going to be on how do you close the conversation. Okay. So I would say have an initial conversation, the normal way you start the conversation. And after like 30 seconds, like I would say like you take the scenario, like you had a deep chat with this colleague at the cafe, but now your next meeting is going to start. So you have to somehow close the conversation and then leave.
Okay.
Okay, got it? Cool.
So we're in the middle of a conversation.
You can start a fresh conversation. After 30 seconds, you can just go on closing the conversation from your end.
Hey, how has your day been? I saw that you were pretty packed with the schedule.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, I was busy with my work, and the project is going well. And how about your project? How does
My
it go?
project's going fine. I've been trying to make time outside work to do other things. Have you also been doing anything on the weekends? Because I know it's been a while since we caught up as well. So I'm not really sure what you're doing these days.
Yeah, I have been. I started visiting a new training, which is I started visiting Bright Hearts on a weekends. So it's my new routine. I have
Okay.
started. What about you?
Even I've been trying to do some new things on the weekends. Maybe I'm thinking of going for gym, maybe go to a book club and stuff. So that's been on it. Also, I heard that someone new joined your team. How has that person been? Like, did you get a chance to chat with them?
No, as of now, I didn't get a chance to have a conversation with him. But going forward, I'll surely talk to him. And
Okay.
I think that your meeting is going to start. So I think you're busy right now.
Yeah, I'll have to go real soon. Okay, when's your next meeting?
I still have 30 minutes left.
Okay, I hope to catch you after the next meeting. I think no.
There was a plot twist in the conversation. But yeah, I think the way you started was really good. Like you were about to just wrap it up. Probably, I think you guys were also not aware of the tips a bit, whatever that was shared. So I will probably iterate some of them. So some of the tips that we shared were like you can probably set a future chat, like say, I have a meeting now, like probably we can catch up tomorrow after evening. Or the other one was like a friendly cue to say, I have to catch up with so and so, so I am moving. Then also like say, when you close, clearly say like, it was great having a conversation with you. That really makes a sense of gratitude and compliments. Okay, these were a few things we shared. So with that, we come to the end of the Convo Master session. Hope you guys had some takeaways. We will keep sharing the tips and then using these Convo Master sessions to practice them. Back to you.
Hello, everyone. How are you all doing? So have you got your return tickets to your real life? Great. So now I will be checking and evaluating who all came on stage with the help of my extended team called as evaluators. So put your hands together in welcoming the first evaluator of the day, Toastmaster Usha, to evaluate the speech of Toastmaster Akshay.
So today, my target speaker, Akshay, took us to the world where we all have experienced our first love or first crush. So now as an evaluator, let's come back to the reality and let me evaluate Akshay's speech. Akshay had, I'd like to highlight two important tips or two important highlights of his speech. he has a very great voice modulation, especially when he enacted the way his, should I say girlfriend or crush? I don't know, but yeah, the way she giggled, the way he enacted it, we felt it, right? This is what happens when girls fall in, have crush on any of the guys. Yeah. So that is one very good highlight about him. And second I liked is his sprinkle of humor throughout the speech and the audience engagement. This was such a relatable topic. Everyone has undergone these feelings in our teens. So it's very easy. I mean, it's a very connectable topic. So these were the 2 plus points I would like to highlight. And the way he relate, yeah. And now coming to the negative, not the negative, but the areas of improvements that I would like to highlight is one thing, he talked about this girl Payal, the way she had a direct, he told that she's a direct communicator when it comes to Toastmasters, and directly told that she loved him, but he never gave a closure to that story. As an audience, we were a little engaged to know what happened there. Okay, so I would say just give a closure to a point which is actually, you know, engaging the audience and connecting with the audience more. Second, I would like to say that the topic was really great and he was engaging with the audience. So I felt he was focusing more this side. Instead of that, you know, if you could have occupied the stage and had an eye contact this side as well and equal eye contact. These are the two areas of improvement that I noticed. Overall, I would say with his great voice modulation, good sprinkle of humor throughout the speech and great audience engagement, and with a little bit of providing closure points to the stories that he had and having equal eye contact throughout the hall would really take his speech to a very next level. With that, thank you. And with that, I wish Akshay all the very best.
Thank you, Toastmaster Usha, for sharing the feedback of our first speaker, Toastmaster Akshay. So here is my observation, one small point of observation as an audience. And as we are on the stage of public speaking, generally there is this way where to keep our hands when they are not required for any of the story. It is like zone 3, the resting of the hands. What I noticed is majority of the times when though there is no need of hands, it will go into the gesture of clasping, probably as your way of formula, light up the audience with your opening, then go strong with the message in the body of your speech, and the end with a strong conclusion. So this is what I observed as your winning formula. As a piece of advice in terms of the body language, just be mindful of the hand positions. That's all to the speaker. And coming to evaluator, Toastmaster Usha, so that was a very good evaluation. You covered with your own structure of areas of like highlights, areas of improvements, and the conclusion. One suggestion what I have is, as this is the project which is coming about the feedback of the previous, like L1 P4, level 1 project 4, if you're able to share to the audience which objectives you are going to evaluate, it will be more relatable and also with your speech as well. Otherwise, your structure, the way of your sharing to the audience, it was all good. My dear audience, put your hands together and give up for our first speaker and evaluator. So moving on to our second speaker's evaluation. Do you remember who was the second speaker? Yes. To evaluate our Toastmaster Abhishek's speech, put your hands together in welcoming our second evaluator of the day, Toastmaster Vishnu.
Thank you, Toastmaster Mani. Fellow Toastmasters, dear guest, and my target speaker, Toastmaster Abhishek. A very good evening to all of you. Abhishek, I'm quite interested to hear that you found a mentor in a bar. Next time, whenever I'm going in a bar, definitely I look sad. So that I'm looking forward for a mentor to come and then meet me. Abhishek, I'm glad to say that you achieved your objective today for your speech. How did you do that? 2 highlights. 1, great audience engagement. You had multiple questions across the audience, which engaged the audience, and they've got you got huge response from them as well. So that was really good. Second one, it was a great hearing experience from your side. How did you do that? It was very simple and relatable stories for the audience. I'm sure audience would be agreeing with this point. For you to bring this speech from good to great, I will give you 2 points as improvements. 1, certain parts of your speech, Abhishek, I felt like it was more conversational. When you talked about your version, you are seeking validation from the audience. Instead, I would have taken a different approach there. Dear audience, I'm sure after hearing both the versions of me, one from my personal experience and one from my Bright Hearts, now that version of me who was 8 years old and that version of me who's currently now here, I like this version. Don't you guys agree? This would have made like a speech and it would have made more impact to that audience as well. Second highlight, there are areas where you have to put in pauses which are intentional. I felt like when you gave that speech, the speech was going in a manner, in a monotone flow where you didn't had a lot of pauses. I would have taken an approach in the bar, which you said where you met your mentor. That day, I was really sad, sipping my whiskey. Then there was one guy who suddenly came as an angel and then, bro, what happened, bro? Nothing happened, bro. My life is in tragedy. After some time, after a couple of drinks, we both became good friends and he became my mentor. And he told me, don't worry, bro. Now you are finding complaints inside you. Stop doing that. Rest everything will fall in place. This would have made a lot of impact in your speech if you would have brought in that enactment, and that pauses in that enactment will actually make an impact. So, Toastmaster Abhishek, your speech met your objective. If you would have focused on, along with your audience engagement and relatable and simple stories, if you would, and focus on more, making it more conversational and also bringing intentional pauses, your speech will go from good to great. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Toastmaster Vishnu, for sharing the evaluation about Toastmaster Abhishek's speech. So, one suggestion which I have, Toastmaster Abhishek, for your speech, as I heard the title, No Complaints, Please. As the story part already evaluator covered, if you were able to bring in no complaints speech as either the opening side or body or ending, it would have reflected to the audience that, my dear audience, my life experience, I learned no complaints. I wish to follow the same, no complaints, please. So that you have done justice to your content as well as to the title. So otherwise, your topic is very relatable and it was a fruitful lesson for majority of the audience. Thank you so much. Toastmaster Vishnu, for your evaluation, what to add? We have seen all the audience responses and each and every one is very much relatable to all the areas of positives as well as improvements which are given. Only one nitpick if I have to do, you have very well done in terms of providing everywhere the examples. For the second highlight, when you said about audience connect, you just left it open like open audience questions. Probably if you have provided some of the right questions which you felt that really audience responded to those questions. Probably he did 10 questions, but where you observed as an evaluator, he got the right response. So that's a small nitpick. Otherwise, your way of evaluation, enactment, and providing the tips to the speaker, it was wonderful. Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together and give up for our second speaker and evaluator. Yes. So in the interest of time, our third evaluator here, put your hand. It's okay. So now let us hear from the third evaluator about the third speakers of Toastmasters.
Very excited to be here. Toastmaster Neville, your speech inspired the audience, inspired me, and hence, I hope I can make that difference in your life. Coming to the highlights, I think your message was meaningful and relatable. You not only used a story, a personal anecdote, but you also gave us examples that are very relatable to our life, like offering water to a Swiggy driver or making a phone call to your parents. Secondly, I think there was a good range of emotions that were shown, from a careless college student saying, "How will it reach India?" to a person with anxiety living through the uncertain time of the lockdowns, sirens, oxygen tank demands, and feeling helpless. Coming to my areas for your improvement. For the message that even when you can't fix the world, you can make a change in one person's life, I feel there were a few inconsistencies. Firstly, the link between the Hokkaido story, it was the government, the system that came in and helped a life. I think it would have been better served if you talked about a personal story where somebody helped you. Like, oh, there was a period of time where I was depressed in my office. I used to come in with my cup of coffee, just put my head down and do work. And then one person would consistently come and ask me, "Hi, Neville, is there anything I can do for you today? Hi, Neville, how are you feeling today?" That I felt would be more impactful to the message of you can change one person's life by doing a small effort. Secondly, was in your call of action, you stated that the stage is a platform for change and that we could make a difference to many lives. Though that is a very relevant message, I feel like the speech, the central message of your speech was that you could take a small change in one person's life, even when you can't change the world. So if I was in your place, I would have gone something like this. From these stories that I've told you, from the small phone call to my parents, I believe that all of us here can think of one small thing that we can do for one other person. Not to change the system, not to complain about the government, but one small thing for one person. And then ended your speech that way. So that would have encompassed not only your speech, but also the central message in one statement. Lastly, though your attempt at voice modulation was very appropriate for the emotions that you portrayed, I felt like at places it was a little too soft. So I hope when you go forward with voice modulation, especially when you soften it a lot, you can either slow down the pace to make sure the last word is also heard till the end, or you can emphasize with hand gestures. So when you said there was nothing we could do, you can say there was nothing we could do. So then the whole audience, if they can't hear the exact word, they can at least relate to the emotion. Similarly, when you said, "Mom," when you said, "Hi, Mom, how are you?" Since it's a question, you could emphasize the last word a little bit more and stretch it. "Hi, Mom, how are you?" So in conclusion, I hope you take these 3 points of feedback, and I'm sure your next speech will be even more inspirational. Thank you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Anna, for sharing the feedback about Toastmasters Neville's speech. As evaluator already picked one of the area of improvement of mine about which I wanted to share, but let me share one other aspect which I believe it will really help to the speeches. As you're already moving to the levels at the high side, I felt in your opening, you told about the Japanese story about the girl and the government supported to run the train for one person reason. Probably I felt if you would have holded that suspense, what whether government stopped the train just because of one or it continued. Let audience ponder upon it, and probably at the conclusion you bring it back so that it was able to connect to the conclusion of your anecdote as well as that story together go hand in hand in the conversation. Otherwise, your story was really moving, and I feel you have done justice to your project, inspired the audience. Great job on that. And moving on to Toastmasters Arna's evaluation, I think you have covered all the speakers' points as well as you have provided an example in terms of how he can improve on it. One small suggestion or a small nitpick for you is that probably there is a possibility or the room to structure in terms of the space of your timing. Maybe till this time you want to be at the highlights, or probably at this stage improvements, so that I felt that at the end you were little rush. You had something to say, but due to the time card, you just moved on. Maybe that time alignment would have helped to justify your evaluation. So on that note, I would let us put your hands together for our third speaker and third evaluator. Okay. I see as we are well within the agenda timing. So without further delay, I would like to call my tag team. The first tag team player I'm not going to call. I'll be calling the second letter. Do you remember the taggy team, which is the second letter called? R counter. Who is our R counter? Aditya. Put your hands together in alphabet.
Okay. Good evening, everyone. So throughout this meeting, all of the speakers successfully took their journeys. They landed on time. And I can say this with conviction, and observed each of the speakers that they landed on time and smoothly without any such disturbance. So let's put a round of applause for all the speakers today. It was simply a session with all of them speaking flawlessly. Gautam, Arundhati, Priyansh, Manikumar, Akshay, Abhishek, Neville, all the evaluators, Usha, Vishnu, Arna, our convo master, all the convo speakers as well, every one of them were nearly perfect in whatever they had to speak. A few suggestions, few of the crutch words that were regularly used during the session. Like is a very common word that many of us normally use when we have to give an example, and that comes out very often. So if we can avoid that, something like you know is a very common filler word that I observed throughout the session today. And so yeah, right is something that comes up again and again, right? So these are some filler crutch words that were regular, that are regulars, and I observed them during the session as well. And right, that are some of the filler words that were again prevalent throughout the session. And some minute one suggestion is for Pooja, when she exclaimed, she says a lot of right, so right, or etc. She was exclaiming a lot of things. You could use other alternatives like wow, awesome, amazing, cool, etc. Right? So let's be mindful of these filler words and crutch words next time. Otherwise, it was nearly a perfect session. Thank you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Aditya, for sharing about the R counter. I have a small feedback for you. It is, if it is in terms of the intro, probably as we have a very good guest over here, instead of leaving the CRPF just alone, if you would have added a small example, what is CRPF meaning, the crutch words, repetitive pauses and fillers, how it abrupts the regular communication. And coming to your report part, I felt you have shared in terms of who are a bit of flawless. I have one small suggestion. Probably, maybe you can segregate who are all the top people who are using more tendency to use more CRPF, as we are all here to improvise. In case I felt personally, when somebody told me I have use of R counter of 5 numbers, next meeting I'll try to reduce to 3. So that way it will help each and every person or role taker to target themselves. Okay, today if I'm come on stage, it will be there. Otherwise, your way of gesture and connecting to the audience about the theme. It was very relatable. Let's give it up for our counter of the day. So, moving on, do you remember who came with the word routine to added a new word to our vocabulary? Nivedita, yes. Put your hands together in welcoming our grammarian of the day, Toastmaster Nivedita.
So your favorite grammar Nazi is back. Sadly, I think everybody is sitting in the vacation mode and nobody is ready to come back to routine. The word was hardly used. So the word was only used once by Abhishek. So that is about the, so again, yeah, coming back to, so I'll present my report in the way that how many, for the benefit of the guest, how many times the word of the day was used, then good usages of the language or outstanding phrases or thoughts, and also improper usage. Overall, the meeting was flawless. There were hardly any improper usage that I have to point out per se. Maybe here and there, the use of present tense and past tense when used in a sentence. So again, the count of the word of the day was only 1. And now money use, so 2, I would count it for my happiness. Coming to the good usages, obviously Akshay had a very good sentence use, like going into the inexplicables. So that was kind of impressive. Then his last line. So I think this time it was more of good thoughts than I would say good usage of sentences and phrases. So his last ending of his speech, like attraction is an unpredictable, messy, magical mix, which I felt was very nice. Coming to Neville, his way of, it was a positive spin to that sentence. How can we make change in one person's life? So that was a very good sentence, I felt. Then one voice, one call, one connection can make all the difference. That also I felt was a very impressive sentence. Priyansh had used a phrase, take a leap of faith. So that also I felt was really nice. And then I think the word of the day, I should have kept it as nitpick, because there were a lot of nitpicks which were used, which is actually nice usage. Now, coming to few improper usages, as I said, when you use the present tense and past tense, so if you would have holded, it should have been if you would have held, right? Then they hand-holded me. It should have been they hand-held me. Then coming to students listening to teacher after failing subject, I would have phrased it as students listening to teacher after having failed the subject. So that is my report for the evening. Thank you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Nivedita, for sharing the grammar report. I have a small suggestion in terms of whatever the report you have shared. I understand it's that energy which is coming in, and probably it has made your flow here and there. Probably if you would have structured what is the way. My suggestion is, as we are in the interest of improving ourselves, probably it can come in the way of the usages which needs to be corrected. Meaning incorrect usages, if they come first, it will have a good time for audience to observe what you're saying, followed by the good usages and word of day, right? Thank you for your great evaluation, grammarian report. Put your hands together for our grammarian. So who is remaining from our taggy team? G. What G stands for?
Yes.
Guest master, yes. Put your hands together in welcoming our guest master and being attentive, okay, to our Toastmaster Dipsha.
Good evening, everyone. Your travel ticket examiner is here, right? I hope you are in the right train, in the right journey, because I'm going to check if you are in the reality or not. Okay, as I mentioned in the beginning, I'll be giving 3 words. You have to guess the speaker. And of course, you can remind the context of what speech contained, right? So the first one, again, there's no particular order here. So it's going to be mixed. It can come from anywhere. So first one is piled, squeeze, ad hoc, burnout. Yes. Grammarian, I'll refrain the grammarian to come back.
because the grammarian has also been taking notes of the words that have been there. So in the end, if people don't guess. Okay, the next one. Province, converse, rural, anxiety. Priyansh. Yes. Which word gave it away? Okay, the next one. Clasping, winning formula, justice.
Money.
Yes.
You're attentive.
Hustle hub life, bonding, laughter, happier, lighter. Twinshuk. No. Yes. Priyansh. Last one, we have insight, constructive, defensive, and twist. Yes. With that, thank you, everyone.
Thank you so much. So, yes. So that's about the guest master. I hope now you have got more awakening. That's the reason I said about be attentive. Yes. So it was a very wonderful job, Deepsha, as the guest master. One suggestion which I have is that as you became in between confused whether to call that person or not, if you would able to tell the advice openly that it's only for the non-rule takers. So it makes a little bit, in case if nobody is able to tell, then go for the role takers. So that way the role will, for you, it will be smoother and you will get time to cover more questions. That's the intent, but great job done. You brought awakening in all people. Thank you for that. So let us invite the last role taker in my taggy team, Toastmaster Ilango, the timer of the day.
Welcome back, my dear Toastmasters and guests. Just quickly, I will give my reports. There is no disqualification in the speech as well as evaluation on table topic speaker as well. Sorry, it's a convo topic. Yes. So I will give the timing for individual. Abhishek, you took 7 minutes. Akshay, you took 6 minutes, 29 seconds. Neville Shah, Neville, you took 6 minutes, 59 seconds. Coming back to evaluation, Usha Kumari, you took 2 minutes, 52 seconds. Vishnu, you took 3 minutes, 10 seconds. Aruna Gupta, you took 3 minutes, 30 seconds. Coming back to Convo Master, Bhumika, Vishnu, you took 2 minutes, 46 seconds. Pooja and Madhav, you took 2 minutes, 43 seconds. Sri Pranav, you took 2 minutes, 30 seconds. Akshay, Varsha, 1 minute, 55 seconds. Coming back to that, Arundhati, while President Toastmasters took 9 minutes, 17 seconds, and Toastmaster of the day, Prashant Tripti, took total 20 minutes. Manikumar took 20 minutes. That's it from my report. As I said, I have 3 questions for you. I will just not going by order. The one person said, one speaker said, one call, one connect. Yeah. Neville, yeah. Thank you. Yeah. Second one, I conditionally, I love the stage. Who said that one? Exactly. Who said? Yeah, Arun. Surprise for you. The next one. She used the plate. Who said that one? Akshay. Thank you. That's it, once.
Thank you, Toastmaster Ilango, for sharing the timer report. So I got the notification about my time on the stage. Yes. So as we have covered the evaluators and the tag team, I would like to share in terms of the other role takers, which I have not covered. First one, the essay, I think it was a last minute add-on. Toastmaster Gautam, you have done a very good job. As an essay, energized the audience with an activity, the roles you read it out, and as well as you also invited the presiding officer with an introduction. Great job there. Moving on to our presiding officer, Toastmaster Arundhati, DTM Toastmaster, distinguished Toastmaster Arundhati, that you have welcomed the audience and also you have invited them on stage and gave information that introduced to the audience with the required 3 parameters about why they are here. I think great job done there. One suggestion for you that I'm not sure you were too much energetic or excited today. Once you thought about the last week weekend. So there was a change in the order of opening the meeting, then inviting the team on. Probably that sequence, it will be a great add-on if we follow that. And moving on to our Toastmaster of the day, yes, the person who killed the session today with about the theme, with an interesting theme, and also engage the audience throughout between the segments of every speech so that audience gets energized to listen and prepare for the next speech. These and our conversation master. Have you all enjoyed the segment?
Yes.
Which is
Yes.
from table topic? Yes. Great job done, Toastmaster Wasim, for bringing the new flavor in terms of the table topics. As we have the mix of audience, what I would suggest, you have very good, beautiful way of picking the members who are non-role takers. One suggestion which I have is that as the audience may not be everyone from the corporate working field, probably if the scenarios were like generic rather than only the document or the convocation, like the networking meeting, maybe it will be relatable if you would have given a generic just topics. Otherwise, it was a very well done to today's stage role takers. Please give it up for all the role takers of this meeting. And I would like to acknowledge the 30 seconds in terms of the behind the screens, the activity which goes on. So firstly, the PR poster, our public relations team, great job done. There was a slight delay in terms of the poster release, but we covered up with our required poster details. And the other one, Vice President Education team, in terms of the roles opening, the roles filled out. And last minute, there was a backout, but it was also filled up very smoothly and the agenda released on time. And there was a change in the meeting way we conduct. So that way I felt as a member and an audience, I really enjoyed the meeting thoroughly. And thank you so much for such a wonderful audience. Clapping all the time whenever I requested. Please clap yourself. Now moving on. So may I request everyone to take your sound producing gadget, the mobile, and go to the browser and type in the link which is on the screen, bit.ly/BHTM vote 2. And you can vote to the best role taker, as well as you can provide what you liked in today's session, what you want as a club to improve upon. In case if you find difficulty in opening the web page, can you raise your hand? Yes, I see no hands, so now everyone got the link. So can I see a thumbs up, whoever has completed their voting? Okay. 2 times voted. So with that being said, let me invite the presiding officer of the day, distinguished Toastmaster Arundhati.